Why don't we go ahead and address Sarah Boone's?
Yeah, that's an understatement. Why don't you address Sarah Boone's case like you all should have been doing 6 or 7 months ago? Been totally unnecessary. Right, so today I'm just going to, I know that a lot of you already know what's going on with this case, but I'm just going to have a little chat about it because you know I've been covering this case practically from the start. But what was happening was she put that last letter in. I did a video on that last letter and then editing it, and then within no time at all something else appeared on the case again, and it was just ongoing like this. And I thought, right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait now until we get this pre-trial and the trial, see if it goes ahead. And yeah, it didn't surprise me what happened with Bankowitz, not at all. So let's just start with what was going on in court. My name's Dawn and this is Lounge Bar Crime. A quick disclaimer, everything that you hear in this video is from my own research, it's my opinion and it's for entertainment purposes only. That out of the way, let's get to it. So let's have a quick look at what was happening at Sarah Boone's pre-trial.
Why don't we go ahead and address Sarah Boone, since I think some people would prefer that case get called next.
So, as you might have guessed, Bankowitz isn't in court. So he's on Zoom. We're not surprised, are we?
The last time we talked, Mr. Bankowitz, we had a status hearing. Ms. Boone was present. And where we left things is you were going to follow up with her, have a meeting at the jail, and see where things stand. So have you had a chance to meet with Ms. Boone?
Judge, I have not. And the reason I have not is this is the first day I'm out of bed with COVID.
So we've got Bankowitz. He's in bed or been in bed with COVID. What, for 6 months, 7 months? We've got Rushborn with his fractured foot. If you know, you know.
And I contracted that. I had her set actually twice last week and had to cancel both of those because of COVID issues. And so, like I said, today's the first day that I am actually up and about. And so I'm going to have to reschedule that meeting with her. But the case is not ready for trial. We're still looking into experts. And I have a death penalty case that's set time certain in Lake County starting the first week in February, and expected to last probably 3 weeks. So I'm asking for your April docket and for purposes of a continuance.
So we've got Bankowitz now asking for a continuance on this trial. Why was he not asking for this before? I know he's saying that he's got COVID, but he must have known that he was going to be pushed into this. Why wait until now to put in a motion to withdraw? It is saying it's for COVID and all this, but we know that's not the case, because in fairness, which is really hard being fair to Sarah Boone, but playing devil's advocate here, she was entitled to a response to her letters. I've got a last letter as well that she did. I didn't like, that's the one that I was doing when I decided to throw the towel in and just wait until we got to a pre-trial. But she's entitled to be heard, and they don't have the right to just ignore her. And the same with Judge Wotton. I mean, okay, I'm not saying that he's got to respond, but why did he not speak to Bankowitz and tell Bankowitz, you've got to respond to her, or what's going on here, or address this? You can't just leave somebody there in jail and just say, yeah, we're just not gonna bother. So it doesn't add up very much, really, for me, to now we're at pre-trial say, yeah, it's my first day out of bed, I've got COVID. Forget the fact that I've just been ignoring her for the last 6 to 7 months. He's been on this case. Just like, forget that. I've just got out of bed with COVID. So it's not adding up.
What's left to be done?
I've spoken to two experts, and they have not gotten back with me as far as scheduling and going out to see Ms. Boone. There was an expert initially hired by the attorney that she hired privately, but there was no follow-up with that expert, and I have followed up with that expert. And basically, and I've told Mr. Cacciatore this, it's going to be a battered spouse defense, and so we need to get some specific experts in that field to be able to testify.
Now, he's talking there about getting these experts in. Now, if you remember 5 months ago, I did a video, I'll play you a clip of it in a minute. I did a video about Sarah Boone's defence. What was her defence going to be? And now Bankowitz is saying that there was a private doctor expert. I think it's called Helia. I don't know. It's back in that video anyway. So, and he's now not available. He's already said now what lane is going down. I'm not going to keep repeating it because YouTube don't like them terms, hence why I'm doing Patreon. So you've heard the lane that is going down, and I did say in that video that if she went down that lane, that there was bits of that I didn't understand, because if she went down that lane, then the intentionally would have to go out the window. This is what I said.
Thought it was be funny a little.
It was. We both were laughing about it.
Okay.
And then
Now, this is the one that I've got a problem with, because this is a Dr. Heller, and he is a DV psychologist. Why does she need a DV psychologist? What has that got to do with anything? Because nothing was intentional. It was all fun. So why is she going down that lane? Why is she going down the DV lane? You know, they're going to see them videos where she's absolutely tormenting and taunting him. So is he going to explain away that for her? I don't know. I really, really don't know. But this Dr. Heller, apparently, he is out of state because there is nobody in the county with his skills. I can actually believe that, with the skills that he's going to need. Yeah. So she's got somebody out of state, which is costing an absolute fortune. Is she going to go down this DV route? But then surely there's got to be some intent, if that's the case. So then the intentionally goes out the window, and having fun and playing hide and seek, all that goes out the window. So can you see where I'm going with it? It's all contradictory. I'm not really getting it at all. I can't wait for this case to start. I really can't. And I still stick by that. And I know that there are going to be experts that are going to explain that away in a better way than I could even begin to start to explain to you, because it's all going to be the psychological side of it. I can't say the words, so I just can't say them. She can't say that it was not intentional if they're going to go down this route. So I mean, they are going to explain it away. We know they are. They're going to do this because there's a specialist in every field that can explain everything away like this. And I'm not saying that these things don't exist. It's just with the goading and her laughing and joking. That wasn't, to me, that wasn't somebody in the throes of despair and didn't know what they was doing. And yeah, there was she seemed to get quite a kick from what she was doing. So that's why I think they're going to have a hard time explaining that one away.
Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
that's on you.
Sarah, I can't breathe.
It's on you.
Sarah.
Reel around some. Might want to get video for it extra. Because I got this.
Sarah.
Reel around some.
Sarah.
So I just meant to say that Dr. Heller, who I spoke about in that video that I just played the clip of. So it looks like it's not going to be him now. It's going to be a different expert, because Bankowitz has just said he needs to get hold of get hold of some new experts now.
Mr. J, do you know what Mr. Cacciatore's position on this is?
He has no objection, and I don't know if the court set status dates when it's nebulous when people are going to be ready, or if you just go ahead and set pretrial dates, that's fine. April sounds...
Well, I need it on a pretrial docket, so I'm going to grant Mr. Bankowitz's continuance on behalf of Ms. Boone. I'm going to set it for pretrial on March 28th and a trial period starting April 10th, but I'm going to ask that Mr. Cacciatore and Mr. Bankowitz do schedule a status conference on the case end of February or beginning of March. Mr. Bankowitz, I want to make sure that you've been out to see Ms. Boone, and if there are any issues coming out of that, I want to address that sooner rather than later.
Yes, sir.
All right. File your motion. I'll grant the motion. The dates are as previously announced.
So yeah, Judge Wootton there is saying that he wants to book in a status conference. Tomato. I don't know. I seem to pronounce everything different. It's just because I'm from the UK, that's all. They understand me over here. If you're finding this video interesting so far, don't forget that "Did you like" button. Press it. And he also wants it to check in with him in February to make sure that he's been out to see Sarah Boone before that. Now, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to check in with an attorney to make sure that he's doing his job? Why does he think that he won't? I mean, is that normal? I'm just gonna do this just to check in with you to make sure that that you have been out to see her. He's out of bed now. He can go out and see her next week. And why you don't have to wait till February or end of February or whenever. It's absolutely ridiculous. They're all on the same page. They all know what's been going on with this Sarah Boone case, the judge included. Nobody wants to know about it. Nobody wants to take it on. Nobody wants to deal with it. I mean, the judge has got to listen to it, but he's not even done. He could have done a little bit to push Bankowitz in the right direction, but he's not even taken this on neither and done anything. He's not asked his administration staff to copy that and forward it to Bankowitz and say, we need a response on this, because it's not the first letter. How many letters was there? 4 or something. And it doesn't seem like he's asked Bankowitz, have you read this? What is your response to this? Or read this and give me your response. So nobody's doing anything with this case. Nobody's everybody's sitting on it, sorry. And now the judge wants Bankowitz to check in with him in February just to make sure that he's been to see Sarah Boone. I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life. I mean, I've read all the other letters that she sent to Judge Wootton previously to you in my previous videos on this case, and this is the one that I did before, and I just stopped doing it because everything just kept changing all the time. But if you look at this, where's my attorney? Where are you, Judge Wootton? I mean, it says there, even more unfortunate seems to be the lack of representation from any party of my case other than myself. Look at the numbers. And she does say there, some of my major legitimate concerns of mine are the violations of my constitutional rights. Whether we like that or not, she has got rights. The degree of neglect and nonchalant approach, I can't disagree with that. It's the only thing that I do agree with Sarah Boone, but she's got a point. So we've got the pre-trial now on the 28th of March, and the trial on the 10th of April. I've put them there on the screen. I'm not putting too much emphasis on them dates really, because we don't know what's going to happen. I'd be interested to know what you think, especially about the experts that she's getting in and the route that she's going down with this. Now, I wonder as well whether this has only just been decided. She's only just decided whether to flip it. I mean, I know she's always been having these experts in, but from her letters, it's always led me to believe that she was sticking to what she was saying in her interrogation interview. I always felt that she was sticking with that, and everybody, all the other attorneys, was putting in a motion to withdraw from her case because they couldn't get through to her. And it seems now as though that I think she's still gonna try and stick with that, but it seems as though they might be she might be listening or to somebody, obviously not Bankowitz because he's not been to see her, but she might be listening to somebody where she's opening her ears a little bit to think, well, right, well, we can only wait and see. The other thing that I thought about as well was, I wonder whether all the other attorneys that have put in a motion to withdraw from this case, I wonder if they've been in touch with Bankowitz, or whether Bankowitz has been in touch with them, just for him to swap ideas around to say, where was you going to go with it? What were you thinking? Is to go down this lane or that route? I don't know. I just wondered. I just thought, because, and I'll tell you why I thought that. I thought that because when Bankowitz said earlier that he's got a death penalty trial before this case, in a tiny bit of me felt sorry for him. I just thought, he's got that, and then he's got the Sarah Boone case. You know, I'd be in bed saying I had COVID. I'd be in bed with something. But I felt sorry for him a little bit. So I just thought, I wonder if he's contacted any of them, or like I said, they've contacted him and said, look, mate, there's only one way out of this, or there's only one direction you can go in with this, and that's it. I don't know. It just crossed my mind, that's all. It'll be interesting as well to see the prosecution on this case. I like to see all that, you know, the defence and prosecution and their personalities, to see how they handle things. I'm very interested now to see how Bankowitz is, although I think we've got a bit of an idea on how he's going to be, you know. Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see the prosecution, how they handle this case. Right, guys, I'm going to sign off now. So if anything else happens in between and on this case, I will put it on here. I doubt anything's going to happen. I mean, they're doing everything they can with the foot against the door to keep this Sarah Boone case out the door. So I don't think anything's going to happen beforehand. But if it does, I'll do something. I'll cover it and do something on it. I don't know if you want me to cover the Idaho case, if you want me to do anything on that. If you do, just let me know in the comments below. Also, I think I mentioned I've got a Patreon, just because there's just certain things that I want to say that you can't say on YouTube. So that's there. I'll put the link below. Yeah, that's it for now. So in between and I'm going to say take care, stay safe, and come back. Bye.